most of my self-portrait assignments were just kind of not super engaging for me because I'd done so many of them. But we'll see. This is the first time I've done self-portrait since undergrad, I think. Maybe I did one in grad school, maybe, but it certainly wasn't a focus.
I honestly really have no idea when's the last time I did a self-portrait. It's been that long, which is insane because I did so many when I was in art school.
Yeah, I mean, it's great that you always have a reference there, but at a certain point, after seeing myself in the mirror so many times, it just becomes a little annoying just to draw myself constantly and not have any other variety. So that's kind of why I don't do it often.
Oh, I get so sick of it. You know, it's like fine if you're practicing or something, but it's really not something I want to do on a regular basis. Geez, I really need a haircut. Oh my God.
You know what? It's been a while since I cut my hair too. So I understand. I need to cut my hair.
I literally have not had a haircut since the pandemic started. Isn't that crazy?
That is kind of crazy. I can't go. I wouldn't go that long. If I had gone since March without cutting my hair, I would look like the missing member of the Jackson 5 right now. Like my hair would be like this big. So this is probably like maybe like a month without cutting my hair. But that's probably going to change soon. I'm starting to get a little sick of it.
Well, your hair is easy. You can just like give yourself a buzz cut. You know, it's like my hair looks really bad if I. Well, I mean, it looks really bad right now because it's all grown out. But it's like my hair's short enough that I have to actually have somebody who knows what they're doing do something with it.
That is true. I definitely can manage by cutting my own hair, which is nice. My dad was a barber, so he would give me tips as I started learning how to do that when I was in college. And now I've kind of gotten into a science where I'm like, all right, just cut, time to take care of it. Takes less than an hour. I'll put on something on Netflix and listen and cut my hair at the same time, and we're good to go.
We've got some thoughts about self-portraits. Neil is saying self-portraits are challenging for me because my face is boring. I get so tired of looking at myself in the mirror. And Seven Angelic is saying, yeah, I don't really want to stare at my own face for that long. Who does?
Narcissist. I don't know.
Seven Angelic is saying, side note, I want to see a character of Jordan as a Jackson 5 member.
That would be hilarious, actually. That would be so funny. I've never thought to do that, but maybe I'll do that now.
I think now that the idea has been planted, we might actually have to do that.
Yeah, there are pictures of me as a little kid with a big afro though, and if you dress me up a certain way, I probably would look like one of the brothers. It's hilarious. The only thing is I can't sing. I can dance okay, but my singing is just nah. I would definitely definitely.
Okay, so I got a question. So I'm doing the sketch on another layer. You see the mouth? The mouth is too high, so I want to erase it and move it down. So do I take the erase tool and erase the mouth?
You can actually, if you like the way you drew it, you just need to move it. I would take the selection tool at the top. It's the
pointer thing?
The one right next to it.
This one, the curly thing?
Yeah. And then you'll want to hit freehand at the bottom. I know it's not on your screen, guys. Sorry. And then just circle the area that you want to select. So for you, just be the mouth.
Like that?
And then hit the arrow.
At the top?
Yep.
Okay.
Because now we're going to transform it. And then just move it down.
With my pencil?
Yeah.
What?
Or your finger.
Oh, no.
Oh, you draw on the same layer. Okay, that's going to make things a little different. But you can always...
I did?
Yeah, you drew on the same layer as the brown.
Oh, crap. Are you serious?
No,
wait, maybe...
Just do it. No, just do it. Just move it to the right spot, and I can show you how to fix that.
But I have to undo?
You just get into the selection and move it to the right spot. So however far.
Hang on. Let's do this again. All right, so freehand, and now I'm going to drag it?
Yeah, just drag it down to the proper placement.
Yeah, maybe a little bit lower. Okay, now what?
All right, and then just deselect. You can hit any button at the top pretty much, and it'll deselect it for you. And then probably the next thing you want to do, because you drew on the same layer, just make a new layer, put it underneath the one that you drew on, and fill it with the exact same color as your background. So
wait, how do I?
So you have the new
layer.
You just drag it underneath it with your finger.
Oh, with my finger.
Yeah,
but it's not moving.
So you have to tap it, and then here, let me show you. Hold it for a quick second, and then you see how I can move it on here? It should look like this.
Wait, I'm so confused. Why is mine not
hold
moving?
Your finger down on the layer.
Oh, there we go. Okay, I wasn't doing that.
There you go.
But wait, how come now it has a group? What is that?
Just undo that. Or you can do the exact same thing. Pick that layer up and just move it up outside of the new group layer.
Like that? I'm so confused.
Okay, just undo. Undo.
Wait, what?
Okay, the little arrow on the bottom of your little slidey thing on the side. The arrow that's pointing. Yeah, just undo. Just hit that a couple times.
Like this?
Yeah, just hit undo.
Okay.
All right. Go back to your layers.
Oh, wait, I want to get rid of the group.
Yeah.
Can I just delete the group?
If you want to. Do you have anything in there that's important?
No.
Okay. All right. So make the new layer.
Okay.
And underneath, like I showed.
Drag it under layer 2?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then make sure then get the color that's the brown of the background. So.
But where is that color?
So you can literally just take your finger and just touch and hold.
Touch and hold.
There'll be like this little circle icon.
Oh, so this. Touch and hold. Okay, got it. And now I can draw over the white part?
And then, no. So go to your layers again.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you're on the right one. Okay, so just drag it like we did at the very beginning. Just drag it onto your canvas.
Drag what onto the canvas?
The color. Drag the color onto the canvas.
Oh, like this? Oh, okay.
Yes, there we go. There we go. And now, and then you can go back and draw on your original layer. Because what we did, we just put the layer underneath. We put it as the same color. So now, if you happen to do that again, it won't really notice it because it's the exact same hue. Does that make sense? So
do I draw on layer 2 or do I make another layer?
You can draw on layer 2 or 3. Either way is fine. I just want to let you know, Claire, you got some support. Raw Nook says, yes, finally. And then Raindrop says, hurrah, congratulations. Ganesh says, yes.
Well, I appreciate my little cheerleading squad here to congratulate me for fixing something.
Yeah, there you go.
But see, so here's the thing though, Jordan, I shouldn't have drawn on the brown layer. Right?
Oh no, you should not have. No, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do that. But
I should start it.
Huh?
I should start over, right?
You don't have to. You have a very loose sketch. You can just kind of do whatever you want.
Okay.
So, yeah. The thing about here's the challenging part about digital art. There's no one way to do things. So I don't like using the word should necessarily because people have different ways of working. Sometimes people work in only one layer and they just leave it at that. But there are definitely recommendations that I would have for someone who's starting out.
Really?
And not following some of those instructions will definitely make it challenging. I will say that.
So I guess in the future, I should be more conscious of what layer I'm drawing on?
Yes, definitely. Your digital art depends on your use of layers. That literally does everything, and it's incredibly important. It's incredibly important. It's sort of like it's sort of like drawing on the wrong type of paper. Like let's say you gave a class assignment where you were very specific. I want this done on newsprint, and then someone comes in on a piece of like dark blue construction paper and be like, what the heck is this? Like, this is not what I told you to do. It's that kind of, you know, it's that important. So yeah.
I think my eyes are too far apart. Oh, wait. I can do the selection thing though, right?
Yes, you can always do the selection thing.
Okay. Hang on. I'm gonna try this by myself now, okay? I'm
right.
on my own.
Everybody just cheer her on, okay?
Wait, I think, okay, if I do this, I tap that. Oh, wait. Do I move it with my finger or with the pencil?
You can do either. It just depends. The pencil is definitely more accurate when you're trying to move it in a really small, almost minuscule way.
But how come it's just resizing? How come it won't let me drag?
So stop. When you touch one of the blue dots, that's when it will start scaling. So if you want to move it over, just take another part, just touch it on another part of the canvas and just move it.
Wait, what?
So
wait, what part of it?
Okay, any other part that's not selected, just kind of just move it over. Like the very top of it, your canvas doesn't really.
This? Oh wait, but that's rotating. wait.
Okay, so all right, so let's try this. I'm selecting an area on my canvas, right?
Uh-huh.
I have the arrow selected, and I'm literally just gonna take my finger. It's right now, you guys, here, you know what? Let's do this. I'm gonna move it down here. Okay. And so you can see I'm not even touching it. And all I'm doing is sliding my finger across like that.
I think it's because I have, oh wait, now it disappeared. Wait, but now it's really big. No. Do I undo?
Just undo.
This is really bad. Okay, wait. Maybe I shouldn't try to do things on my own.
Debussy says, OMG, this reminds me of working with my mother. It's hilarious.
Dear. That is really bad.
I actually, you know what? This isn't the worst. The worst one, I'll admit, I might have told this story here on Art Prof before, but my aunt, she has no idea how to use the internet. She's in her 70s now, and she will be trying to upload an assignment or an attachment in email. You have no idea how difficult that was. Like, I literally a couple times had to drive over to her house, which was 20 minutes away, just to show her how to use, just to attach something to an email, because she would get so frustrated and she would start cussing on the phone. And like, I was, okay, Auntie, all right, Auntie, let me help you out. Just wait 20 minutes. I'll be right there. So yeah, it was something. It was something.
See, Jordan, this is taking too long. I'm just gonna, it would have taken me 2 seconds to redraw that. Right? I
mean, that's what I would have done. You're asking me. I'm used to the tools. So if you want to redo it every time, that's totally valid.
Gayatri is saying, just select the area, then swipe your finger to move it, but swipe your finger where the mouth is and it will move the eye. Oh dear. I'm even more confused. All right. Let's just draw for a little bit, Jordan. How's that?
Okay, yeah, drawing is fun. Drawing is fun. Going back to our roots here.
In theory, oh wait, should I do another? I should do another layer because I'm going to start doing some tone. So yes, okay.
Yeah, when in doubt, just make a new layer. You can always merge them later if you want to, but when in doubt, just more layers for you, Clara. Just for now. Okay.
Yeah, I think I need more layers, Jordan. I think that's a good idea.
You know what? There is nothing wrong with that. I use so many layers on my drawings. Part of it is because I like to keep my sketch layers just for myself, because I think it's cool to see my own process. But yeah.
But doesn't it get frustrating because you like can't remember or like keep track?
No, you can name your layers if you want.
Well, but that's even more work.
Not really. I mean, all it is you just hit rename at the top, and then there'll be a keyboard that pops up and you type it in, or you hit the little microphone and just say the name of whatever you want the layer to be. Like 3 times today, I just hit the mic and I said shadow, and it was like Okay, perfect. We're named Shadow now. It was fine.
You're doing like voice command to name your layers. You're such a nerd.
I don't know if that's nerdy as so much as efficiency.
Oh, efficiency.
I think it's efficient, because I was in the groove and I had a deadline and I was like, all right, I'm not going to take these 10 seconds to name this layer. I'm just going to speak it into existence, sort of like Siri, or Alexa, or whatever, automated voice command you prefer,
You see, Jordan, Moonbeam is saying, the worst thing is when you have a random smudge mark and you can't find which layer it's on. You see, that could be a problem, don't you think?
It is a problem. Oh, it is a problem. But I mean, how many times do you paint something and you get it starts flying somewhere, or gust of wind, or you drop the paintbrush and splatters? It's the same kind of thing. It's just as annoying. It's not like traditional is immune to that sort of stuff.
Oh, this looks so mushy. Crap. You know what? I'm just gonna draw Jordan, because when I think too much, it's just not that pretty,
You know what? Do whatever you got to do to make it work. No, seriously, that's real advice, because Procreate is designed in such a way where it's customizable, like the gesture functions. If I were to just go here in preferences, gesture controls, you have a whole list of stuff you can do. Like, do you want, when you tap and hold, do you want to use the eyedropper? When you swipe with 3 fingers, do you want it to go full screen? Do you want it to show the copy and paste menu? And do you want to change your brush to this? So it changed the game. Wait, I want to read the raindrops. He be like Tony Stark. Jordan Stark commands Procreate like Jarvis. That's awesome. That's awesome. Iron Man Jordan. Yeah, I love Iron. As much as I love Spider-Man, as you all know, Iron Man is cool too. Love Iron Man.
Yeah, I didn't know you liked Iron Man too.
Oh, heck yeah. Iron Man is the coolest. I remember seeing that movie in the theater for the first time, and I watched it with my mom. We were in New York, and we had no idea that the MCU was going to evolve out of that. But I remember we were watching at the very end, and he was like, oh, well, I'm not a superhero. Why would you all think that? And she's like, I didn't say that. And he reads from his card and he says, you know what? I am Iron Man, and just cuts the credits. I'm like, oh my gosh, I said it was Iron Man. Oh, we were freaking out in the theater. It was the coolest moment. And we're like, sequel coming out. We need to see more of this. And yeah, that was the best. That was the best.
I'm having so much trouble thinking about color Jordan. It's too many options.
Yeah, that's the challenge. So with digital art, you automatically have access to 16 million colors, just about, which is more colors than any one painting will ever need, most likely. Well, I guess it depends on how you layer it and stuff, but consciously, we're not thinking of those 16 million colors. And so that's where the palettes come in. That's where limited palettes, and you can also choose from some stuff they've given you. Like, I have one palette I've never used called Campfire and Flourish, and like I don't know why I would ever use this palette, but I can. So it just really, really, really depends.
Oh my god, this is gonna take forever.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine.
Jordan's like, shut up and quit whining.
No, I never said that.
I will say that, when I'm learning something, I get extra permission to whine. That's what I'm going to say.
That's okay. We can say that. Someone actually has a suggestion for you. 7 Angelic Enigma 7 says, stay monochrome at first, Clara.
So am I trying to do too many colors?
That's the challenge that a lot of people have. I typically will just stick to like 1 or 2 like key colors, like just getting the light and dark. and then I'll
Oh,
branch out from there because and here I'll be honest, I haven't really experimented that much with painting on Procreate because that's not why I got this. I got it so I could
right.
draw on the go. But there are some people who do some of the most amazing work, some of the most amazing paintings on here, and so yeah, it just looks fantastic. So I'm still
So
debating if I'm gonna do like color this cell shaded style or what, but let's see.
wait, so if I want to like erase, should I erase or should I color it brown? Do you know what I mean?
I would just erase then. Um,
Erase. Okay.
yeah, it might make it easier for you.
Okay.
Again, it depends
Ah,
on what you're doing. Like if you were drawing your sketch and the background the exact same layer like you were before, then I would say use brown. But if you have all your entire drawing on a separate layer, then I would say just erase it.
oh, okay. I see. Yeah, how come everybody's giving me such good advice? Ganesh says stick to a limited palette, just like traditional. And
Mhm.
actually, there's a question for you, Jordan, from Moonbeam. What do you think of making something in grayscale and then layering color over using blend modes? I don't know what that means. I hope you do.
Yeah, so you know how painters would start with a monochromatic grayscale painting and then they'll just glaze colors over it?
Hmm.
That's the exact same thing. It's just done digitally. So
Oh,
my personal opinion, it can be useful. I generally don't like doing that because if I personally like to have more saturated images or have the potential to use that. And when you're using a lot of blending layers starting from grayscale, it can often mute the colors. However, I will say that for training and just getting a foundation, it's really good because you're more worried. You can understand how value works a lot better. But once you understand how value works, then I think you should be able to jump into color right away. I hope that answers your question, Moonbeam.
spending too much time on the face. You know, I was preparing this lecture that I'm going to be doing tomorrow in the afternoon. And I was like typing out this thing like, don't forget about drawing the hair. The hair is so important. Look at what I'm doing right now. I'm ignoring the hair. Take my own advice.
Come on now, Clara, get it together.
I know. Well, you know, everything goes out the window when you're trying to learn all this new stuff.
I
It's just
Yes and no. I mean, it shouldn't go out the window. And here's the thing: you throw things out the window like that, you forget some of the most important things about art. Like sometimes we forget our foundations when we move to a new tool just because we're trying to figure out how to use it. That's a challenge I had for sure. Um, and
oh yeah,
really,
that's totally true.
yeah, all I need to do is do the same
Ah!
thing I've always been doing. Okay.
Ooh, that's hideous. I hate that color. I need it a little bit lighter. Maybe I need to put in some black. I need some, I don't know, I need some value going on here.
All right. I think this is almost done.
We have some opinions in the chat, Jordan. Keep
Uh-oh.
Quiet is saying, can Art Prof do a tutorial in digital painting, like using brushes so it looks traditional? And Moonbeam is saying, I don't think Claire's quite ready to do a tutorial. Yeah, keep quiet. If we do that, we're farming it out. Okay, it's not gonna be
I'll
me
be
by
told, I'll be totally honest with you guys. If I'm going to do digital painting, then I need to do it on Photoshop, and they probably take a while. I am not used to painting on Procreate just yet because, like I said a few minutes ago, it's just not something I do very often, and it's a kind of a different. I don't want to say it's a different system, but it's just getting used to the tools. Um, so, so yeah, but I wouldn't mind doing that. I think it'd be fun. All right. Let me
Well,
clean
we can always bring in a Procreate ringer, which we do from time to time. So.
Right. But I think it'd be fun to start expanding and start doing more painting stuff on Procreate. It's just the challenge is paintings take a much longer time naturally.
Right.
So we'd have to do like a speed paint, like Bob Ross style, just go quick, and just hopefully it turns out okay, or like a master.
Although some of you guys have told us that you'd really like to see us do live streams where maybe we work on the same artwork, but over the course of 2 streams instead of just trying to fit it into one. Because it's true, there's a lot of stuff people are asking for, and I'm like, dude, that takes forever,
Yeah, I certainly don't mind. Like that Lauren Goose Warrior drawing that I did. I definitely want to finish it, but it's not gonna be quick. So if you guys want me to continue that drawing, you guys want to see the process, I don't mind, but it might take 2 or 3 streams to finish it to the quality that I like. Because it's one thing to do it when you're by yourself and you're just working. It's another thing entirely to do it in front of people and talk and answer questions. And if you want to do it well, it's a whole nother beast as well.
We have a comment from Irene who says the preset painting brushes on Procreate kind of suck. Yeah, I guess a lot of people, like Jordan, you have your own brushes, right?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, you asked me at the wrong time. Yes, so I have my own set of brushes that I've collected from friends and have bought, and I've converted my Photoshop brushes over to Procreate as well.
So that's interesting that you do your line art on Procreate and you prefer to do the painting on Photoshop, right?
Yeah, it's just first off, I struggle with painting in general, and I've been learning on Photoshop. And so I figure, it's just going to be easier this way to figure out what style I like to paint in with a tool that is already a lot faster for me. Mm-hmm. Because even in Procreate, I noticed that a lot of artists tend to be a little bit slower with painting. And I'm not exactly sure why that is, but it's something I have observed. So, but yeah, I definitely like painting in Photoshop more as of right now. I don't think it's always going to be that way based on how awesome the updates in Procreate seem to be all the time, but yeah. All right. Not too bad.
What? Whoever told me to just draw monochromatically, that was a good piece of suggestion because that's clearing my head.
All right, Clara, I think I'm joining you with the colors. Let's see how this goes.
We got a question for you from Raindrops, who's saying, Sir Jordan, what size do you usually work on the DPI in Photoshop and in Procreate? Because I'm using Ibis Paint, so I have a guide and resolution size.
I always use 300 DPI whenever I'm working on anything. For those who don't know what DPI means, it stands for dots per inch. And basically, whenever you're working on a digital artwork, it's usually made up of pixels. And let's pretend that, here, let's make that look closer. Hold on. So this is not a perfect, I'm sorry. I need to get this to be a perfect square. Hold on. Screw it. Anyway, so each square inch of a digital file uses pixels, and you have dots that make up the image. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And the more dots you have, the better resolution is. 300 DPI is the standard for if you ever want to print something. And so that would mean you have 300 of these dots per square inch. And that's always really, really good. So I never go lower than that. I've seen some people use like 600 DPI. I'm not exactly sure why, because I don't know what that really accomplishes. It might be a little overkill, but yeah, that's what I do. In any tool, Photoshop, Procreate, doesn't matter.
This is kind of really satisfying, Jordan. Even though I don't like this drawing, it's kind of really fun.
Good. See, that's the best part, where you're enjoying working on.
Well, but I also feel, though, that one of the reasons I like doing this is because I'm like, oh, everybody knows I suck at this, so I don't have to do a good job.
You know what? I imagine that would help, actually, just eliminate the pressure, because
it does, because you actually know what you're doing.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's sort of because I work in this so much. Like, you guys haven't seen me all day, but I've literally been drawing on my iPad the whole day because I've had some client work to finish. And, I just know how the tool works. And so I usually don't have any problems doing that. If I have any issues, it's with the drawing itself or the painting itself.
So you're saying, like, tech-wise, as far as like getting the right tools and, layers and all those smart things.
Yeah, basically. I mean, I don't really have much of a problem with thinking about that sort of stuff. It's really not something I worry about too much anymore.
Well, I have to say, there's something very refreshing about not being in charge. It's kind of awesome.
So you're putting it all on me is what you're saying.
Exactly. I don't have to be responsible here.
Got it. I see what you're saying.
I'm like, ask Jordan. He's in charge.
David Pena is asking, what are you going to do for the background, Clara?
I don't know. I guess I should think about that, shouldn't I? I don't know. Maybe something cool?
Like cool in color or cool like in concept? Like, this is really cool.
Cool in color.
Oh, okay. Like, I don't know. Let's see. Keep Quiet says, Jordan and Clara, make ye self-portraits surreal, like add smoke coming out of your nose or something. I don't know. I mean, y'all really want to see smoke coming out of my nose? Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I know what I can do. I know what I can do. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I know exactly how to make it a little better.
My thought, Keep Quiet, is I don't even know what frickin' layer I'm on. I don't know that I can make smoke come out of my face. Not in my realm of expertise right now.
Here we go. Some of you guys know what I'm about to do.
Jordan, oh my God.
What?
So predictable.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is cool.
Ooh, reflected light, you guys. Oh, I'm so excited. That really helped. No, that looks terrible now. Oops.
I'm gonna warp this just a little bit, get it to match curve of the head. All right, guys.
Yeah.
My dream of being an airbender. I am a master airbender.
Yeah, see, Jordan, I don't need smoke coming out of my drawing because Seven Angelic says smoke is coming out of Clara's actual head from Procreate. See, I don't need to imagine it. It's already there.
I didn't say you had to have smoke. That was someone else's suggestion.
Crap, wrong color.
Hey,
by the way, you guys, tell us in the chat who's drawing along, because we need more self-portraits for the Art Prof family Instagram. So I hope that we have a lot of self-portraits to post after this.
Yeah, guys, don't be slipping. We want to see your work. Need to see the art. That's what we're here for, to encourage each other. All right, let's see here. So let's
get your butt kicked by your former student.
Well, I mean, that, if you want to put it into those words, what can I say? There's nothing I can do about that.
Oh man. Jeez, these lips are hard. Is anybody having by the way, an existential crisis while they're drawing themselves. I kind of like can't focus on anything except Procreate. So I'm actually bypassing that whole process of looking deeply into your soul. It's kind of nice, actually. I don't know, you can go to a dark place when you look at yourself for too long.
I guess so. I don't know. I try not to think about it. Oh, there's a comment I just wanted to read. Keep Quiet is saying Jordan is going more cartoony and Clara's going more realistic as time passes. That's
I haven't even looked at yours. Oh, yeah. Oh, how come all your shadows look so good?
I haven't done anything with the shadows. So this is a method that I really like to use when I'm painting digitally is, and I'm still experimenting with it, but I like to just fill in that big block of color, and then I'll go in later and add the little subtle details. I find it helps me a lot because otherwise I'll start putting 1 trillion colors all over the place and I won't really be able to keep up with myself. And so yeah, I find that very helpful.
That sounds very sensible and practical, Jordan.
Yeah, right?
Like something that would be beneficial. Let's see, 10,000 Crows is saying, the reason I didn't want to draw myself tonight is because I knew I'd have an existential crisis.
Oh, wow.
Wow, this is deep too. This is from Oh No Typos. I have to really distance myself from self-portraits because I hate looking at myself in a mirror. Sometimes I don't recognize myself and it's scary. Oh, wow. That is like, I got to think about that for a minute. And we have a comment from Allie who's saying, just want to say thanks for these streams. It's been a rough week today specifically, and these cheer me up and distract me. Thank you. Well, that's awesome because I am definitely distracted right now.
Yeah, same here. I enjoy doing these, so I'm glad we could entertain you all with our artwork.
Well, Jordan, I don't know if this is your deal, but when I'm drawing, most of the time, unless my drawing is driving me up the wall, I feel like I'm in a time warp. Does that make any sense?
In a time warp? Is that what you said?
Yeah, like I'm in some other plane where I don't have a million problems and don't have to think about crap, you know? That's just how drawing feels for me.
Oh, I could see that. You know, my mom called me last night and I have been watching The Twilight Zone and I answered like Rod Serling and I was like, you have now entered a dimension of space, a dimension of sound, into the mind. And she started cracking up. She's like, you are such a nerd and I love it.
Yeah, actually somebody said in the Discord, because I'd said something about being an art nerd and they were like, I knew when I heard you say that I was in the right place. I was like, awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Well, because I don't know if this was the case. Tell me if this is the case, you guys, but have you ever been in a situation where, and this is such a terrible thing if you have this experience, where you like are embarrassed that you're an artist? Like, did you ever have that when you were a kid, Jordan?
Embarrassed that I was an artist? Not really. There were times where, as I got older and I told people I went to art school, that they wouldn't take me seriously, or I was like wasting my time, or, you know, a lot of those things that people say that are really kind of dumb in the long run. And generally they have no idea what they're talking about. So other than that, I was actually always pretty much encouraged to do my art thing. And I am glad I did it this way.
Well, because I know a lot of people have definitely had people really bother them about like, why do you want to do this? It's such a waste of time. You're never going to amount to it. It's just like, come on. If people want to do this, why do you have to give them such a hard time?
Right. My rule of thumb is just like, as long as people are happy doing art, then just let them do it. And
yeah, it's not like you're hurting anybody by like doing a drawing.
You know, I think a lot of it just comes from uncertainty, being scared, the idea of the starving artist, you know, all those stereotypes that really don't, I don't want to say don't exist, but they definitely aren't as prevalent as a lot of people think they are.
Well, I just think a lot of it is lack of information. You know, it's like people just don't know. They're like not aware that, yes, it is viable. It's just not as well known amongst your average person.
Exactly. And it's unfortunate, but you know what? I'll tell you one thing. Whenever someone needs a logo or a character, all of a sudden have an interest in creating children's books, who is the first person they call? It's people always look down on artists until they need something from them. And to those people who are always judging, I always say, "Oh, it's a really nicely designed shirt you have there, or nice car. I wonder who designed that. I wonder who designed the cup that you're drinking out of, or any of the furniture that's in your house. Man, it just came out of the clear blue sky, I guess." And you just word it like that, and they start thinking like, "Oh, maybe there is more to this art thing." And I also kind of like embarrassing people like that. I think it's fun.
Let's see what people are saying. Oh, this is good. So Alyssa is saying, I've always been proud to be an artist. And Raindrop says, nope, never felt embarrassed. I felt proud because many can sing, can dance, but not all can draw. And Window Zombie says, I would get embarrassed when other kids asked me to draw them stuff. Always wanted Dragon Ball Z. Nice. That's really funny. And let's see. Kate is saying, oh my God, when I was in regular class and we had a task to draw a poster, I only had an HB pencil and would forget how to draw.
That's all I draw with. That's fun.
This is a nice comment from Ashley. People don't understand how important art is. It's one of those things that people don't appreciate it until it's gone. That is so true, because you know something? How people are, coping to try to get through the pandemic and everything. And it's like, what do you think people are doing? People are watching films. They're doing all these things that are like made possible by artists,
Right. Actually, I've been doing some research, and the number one request, or one of the number one top requested content piece of content right now is animated shows, because you can work from home. A lot of families have kids that are like 6 and 7, and you got to keep them busy all day while the parents are working. And so a lot of networks are like, we need more animated content for children. And there's a ton of people and a ton of companies trying to build up their whatchamacallit, their vault, or their repertoire of animated films and shows.
That makes sense, because, I can't exactly watch R-rated films during the day when my kids are around,
Right. So if you see a surge in animated content for kids, that's exactly why.
Yeah, but you know what people really need to do? They need to make animated films that are watchable for parents, but also fun for kids.
Well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, I just think that's why I think Pixar, I think that's why what they do really works, because they have films that really are like awesome for parents,
Yeah. There's definitely a lot of films that pander to kids, and I never appreciated that content. Even when I was little, I was like, this is stupid. Like, why is this funny? And I have a more childlike sense of humor, so I could totally laugh at the really goofy things that a kid would find funny. But there are some that are just like, no, that's you did not win on that joke. Please stop. Try again.
Well, I don't know. Like, for example, I think one of the most brilliant Pixar sequences that I've seen, that opening scene in Up, where you find out about the husband's life with the wife before she passes away.
Ellie and Carl. Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, and so there's that one sequence where you find out as an adult that she had a miscarriage, that they were trying to have a baby and couldn't have one. And I was like, if I was a kid, I would not have understood that. But as an adult, you totally absorb it, Yeah,
I think I understood it when I saw that movie, because I was 14 when it came out. Or 15.
Okay.
But yeah, I could definitely see how it would totally go over a kid's mind. And the Pixar is really good at being able to tell stories without using words, and like a lot of their films are like that. And I adore those films, and I think it's like one of the purest forms of storytelling. Honestly, I just love it.
Or like The Incredibles, like that's an awesome movie if you're an adult. You know, it's just brilliant.
Oh yeah, I love The Incredibles. It's genius. When the sequel came out, I got all excited. A bunch of 20-something-year-olds went to go see the movie, like 6 of us, and we just sat in like the middle of the theater, took up a whole aisle, and we're just chilling. Like, oh man, it's gonna be great. We're gonna pretend like we're 8 or 9 years old again. You know, it was awesome.
This is a good one. Moonbeam is saying, when my little sister was into Trolls and watched it on repeat, I wanted to die. I'm sorry, Moonbeam. That's pretty bad.
There's a lot of terrible stuff out there because a lot of it's just easy to make. You know, it's very difficult to make highbrow stuff sometimes when you are on a deadline and a budget and you just need to kick content out there. And so a lot of these companies will just pick the lowest hanging fruit, and it's unfortunate. That's just how it is. And I actually watched a video on how these guys scammed millions of dollars out of people to invest in their film because they lied to them saying that they wanted to make it a franchise, but they didn't do it at all. And they spent more money. They got more money than most blockbuster films. Like, they spent more money on this terrible film than Pixar spends on theirs. And the guys who wrote the film, I can't remember their names, but they ended up making even more money themselves just by having that out there, even though they lost a ton in the box office because they used all that money from funding for their own personal gain. And it's just sad. It was really sad.
That's terrible.
Yeah. But what you gonna do?
We have a question that is definitely for you, Jordan.
Okay.
What's the difference between Procreate and Clip Studio Paint? Which program is better?
Okay, so Procreate is purely on Apple products, specifically the iPhone and the iPad. You cannot use it on a computer. You only have to pay for Procreate one time and get all the updates there on out. And as far as what you can do with it, Clip Studio Paint is just a much more intense program. Like, you can load 3D models in it or create 3D models. You have a lot of layers you can work with. You can have files that are as big as you want them to be. But they can do very similar things when it comes to drawing and painting. I actually have both, and I find them both very useful. But it really just depends on what your budget's like, because I think Clip Studio Paint, you have to use it either subscription or you have to buy the whole thing outright for $100 or $200 or something like that. So, depends on your wallet, depends on your interest, but Clip Studio Paint can definitely handle more as a software than Procreate can.
Jordan, I took your advice. I'm trying to control the sensitivity with my physical pressure, and it's working.
Yeah. See? I know what I'm talking about sometimes.
I know, you really do. Well, you know what it was? Because when I first started, I was playing with the opacity too much, and now I just don't even think about it.
Yeah, it's really not that difficult to really to get used to, as long as you know where the tools are, and as long as you just spend some time experimenting and stuff. It's really pretty simple.
I guess what it is, it's like you shouldn't try to do too many things all at once, because I think that's what I was trying to do. I was like trying to do the opacity, get the right brush, but also pick the right color. It's like you can only do so many things at once, right?
When you're first learning, yes. It's definitely it's definitely something you can utilize throughout your entire use of the product. But you want to go at your own pace. So if someone's brand new to digital art, I recommend them just practicing for a while. Like, what I did when I first got Procreate, I actually just looked up photographs of people and I would just draw them for 10, 15 minutes, just like how I do with the 2500 challenge. And I would just get used to getting the right brushes and figuring out how the tool worked and everything. And I found it really insightful for me. And I think anybody should do that whenever they're working in a brand new medium. Just take some time and really test out the tool.
Oh, you guys are so nice. Victor saying you're growing fast as a digital artist. And Ron Nook is saying, yay, Clara, go. I love this. This is so awesome. It's like, I'm stinking it up so bad. People are like egging me on. It's so nice.
You're doing it. See? All it takes is a little bit of practice. That's all you needed.
Well, to be fair, the only time I work on this is during the live stream. So, yeah, this is not really.
Win some, you lose some, I guess.
Well, because what I should be doing is practicing in between streams, but I just like never have time to do it.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. Life can be difficult, and I know there's a lot going on in everybody's personal lives, so it is what it is.
Well, I'm just too busy trying to provide art education for the world, Jordan. So,
I mean, so am I, just not as often.
Yeah, I kind of like the zooming thing. This is kind of fun.
The what thing?
Zooming in.
Were you not zooming in this whole time?
Well, I wasn't before. Now I'm zooming in and I'm like, oh my God, you can get so much more done.
I find it hilarious because I specifically remember you going like, what's the point of zooming in? Like, why would you do that? And I was like, Clara, trust me, it's helpful. And now like 4 weeks later, you're like, oh, I understand now.
Well, Jordan, you can just start doing that I told you so thing, which is very satisfying when you can say it to students.
Oh, okay. Let me clear my throat. Let me get some water. Told you so.
That was good.
That was
you really ate that up, I would say.
Yeah, I had to get it ready. Had to get ready for that. Also, want to thank 10,000 Crows for your donation, your super sticker. Very much appreciated. Let's see, what else we got here? Johnny says, great drawing, Clara, but you look way better than that.
Oh my God. Thank you.
That's awesome.
I love it.
And then, wait, where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Emma Chapman says, both your portraits are gorgeous. I love how your techniques are so different. Thank you, Emma. Much appreciated.
Well, I was talking, Jordan, I think I was talking to Kat about this, about how one of the things that I like about these draw-alongs is that people don't feel the pressure to draw a certain way, because I think that does happen with a lot of online tutorials where people are trying to learn something, but then by only watching one person work, they feel like it has to look like that. And then it's like people start feeling like, oh no, I did a bad job because it doesn't look like the outcome of what the artist had. And we're just like, yeah, do whatever.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point. That's something that I think is important for those who are going to art school, who are currently in art school. When you see a teacher and their work is obviously and hopefully much better than everyone else's, a lot of people will tend to try and mimic the teacher's style to appease them or make them happy or something, get a good grade. But I think the real important thing is understand the principles that the teacher is trying to teach you when it comes to composition, design, color, shape, those types of things, and then take your own sensibilities and go forward from there.
Well, I don't know if you saw this at art school, Jordan, but there definitely are teachers who have this little cult of students. Have you ever seen this? And it's like the students draw just like them and they follow them around after class. And it's like, I don't think I like that.
I've seen that before. I've definitely seen it. And that's a touchy subject.
Yeah.
I get why it happens. But I can also see say that it can be potentially dangerous for multiple reasons when that sort of thing happens.
Well, you know what bothers me the most, actually? See, like, from a student point of view, I can understand that. Like, you want to make a connection with your teachers, and that's good, if you can have that with one of your teachers. But I think what bothers me is when teachers really, like, eat it up and they sort of egg the students on to, like, massage their egos. I don't know. That's the part of it that I really don't like.
Yeah, I can see that. It's tough. It's challenging. And sometimes I notice that it happens to a lot of people who don't have the best artistic role models in their own personal lives or growing up. And so they'll almost look at them as like a parental figure in some ways. So, I mean, I get both sides, but it can, again, be potentially very, very dangerous. And you could end up, what's the word I'm looking for? Oh my goodness, there's a specific word, starts with an S, but I can't remember right now. You basically end up hurting the person's progress. That's not the word I was looking for, but I'm just
holding them back.
Holding them back, yeah. That concept. I don't know the word though.
Well, it's hard because I think when you teach art, there are certain things you do need to tell people about. But then you have to give them enough freedom that you're not like telling them do it like this, right?
Yeah, I definitely don't like when that happens because sometimes people just naturally don't work that way. And I think as an artist, you need to have your own artistic voice, even if you're working in a similar style. Like a lot of animators, they are required to be able to draw like everyone else because you're trying to make one consistent film. But if you were to look at any one of their sketchbooks or their personal work, they all have different styles and they're able to bring that into the production wherever they go. And I think that's incredibly valuable.
Well, I think that's where the versatility comes into play. It's like you want to be able to do your own thing, but you also want to be able to shift yourself if it's necessary for the job,
Right.
I mean, I definitely have painted in ways that I was not super into, but because the job required it, I had to do that.
Right. We have a question from that is not art, not something. Do you mostly do portrait art here? Do you draw and paint landscapes here sometimes?
Well, I think portraits are very much in demand. So that's one of the reasons why we do a lot of them, because we just got a lot of people who want us to do portrait tutorials. So that's part of it. But another thing is that I'm not really into doing landscape painting if I can't be in the place, because I just have a lot of trouble connecting to a photo of a landscape. Now, here's the thing, though. I think it's a little different if you're doing like environment design for concept art. Like Jordan, you've designed all of those landscapes, but they were part of like a world you were building. So I feel like that's sort of different. And the thing is, like, that's not what I do. Like, if I were to paint a landscape, I want to be out there next to the haystack and, like absorbing the sun and everything.
Right. No, I totally get that. Painting landscapes.
So I guess the thing is, I just sort of feel like if I were to try to do a draw along of a landscape, it would just like feel wrong to me for that reason. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't have the luxury of feeling that way, but I do understand where Clara's coming from. I will say that.
I just feel that way about landscape. Like, I don't feel that way about everything. If that makes any sense.
No, but you make a really good point, because even artists, when they're working on films, they will go to a specific place if they're trying to capture that environment. So, for example, all the people who worked on Finding Nemo were required to go deep sea diving before they worked on the movie.
Really?
They all had to go deep sea diving and discover what the underwater world looked like, and that's how they used that for inspiration for the film. They did the same thing with Prince of Egypt. All the artists went to Egypt, took pictures, and went all around all the sites and had to figure it out. The people who worked on the film Atlantis did something similar. They traveled all over the place to get the reference for their films, and it helps bring them in the environment. So when you see them in the final production, you get the sense that it's based on something, that there's a sense of reality there. So yeah, I totally get it. I totally get that.
Well, and also it sort of depends on your own personal experience with landscape, because and you guys can check out some of these videos, because we have some videos where I traveled to Taiwan, and I just released one about a month ago where I was painting on site in Utah. And so that's like how I do landscape. That's not how everybody does it, but that's just sort of my way of doing it. So I feel like I just wouldn't want to do it here for that reason.
Let's see. Keep Quiet has a question. Why are self-portraits always created looking stoic or sullen? More smiling. Why not more smiling faces? I can answer that real quick. So you notice that we've been working on the self-portraits for both of us pretty much for about, I don't know, 45, 50 minutes. If we were smiling and we had to go like this, have you ever tried to smile for 50 minutes straight? Like that hurts. That is hard. So a lot of, and it's inconsistent. There are times when your cheeks start hurting and you create less of a smile, which might create less wrinkles, and then it'll mess your whole painting up. And, it's just a challenge. So I don't know if Claire, if you have anything more to add to that, but I felt the need to say something.
No, that's exactly it. I think it's just too hard to do that. And I mean, I think that's just why people end up doing that. I mean, I'm doing that more now because this is like a demo. Like if you ask me to sit down and say, oh, Clara, draw a self-portrait, I might do something else. But yeah, for a demo, it's like, I don't know, Jordan, do you think this is true? Every time I do a tutorial or demo, I always look at the artwork. I'm like, oh, I could have done better.
Oh, I always think that. I'm thinking that right now. I'm thinking about.
Well, that's what I mean. It's like when you have to talk and draw at the same time, it's like your ability to draw just goes down a couple notches, just like automatically. Like you can't do anything about it.
Yeah, it's challenging because you're trying to explain a lot and make sure your drawing is really strong. And it's much easier to do light topics. If we were. Like, for example, the other day I was doing a panel for a convention, and I had to design a character in like an hour while drawing and talking. And I was like, oh my goodness, this is so hard because I can't think of all this stuff. I'm not smart enough to have all these things in my head at the same time. So when it's like, oh, we're going to do self-portraits, I was like, oh, okay, self-portraits. I can do a self-portrait. That's not a problem,
Jordan, I haven't even looked at yours. I'm like too busy trying to focus on mine.
Honestly, it's nothing to write home about with these colors. I haven't practiced the painting with Procreate like really almost ever, and I'm also making up these colors on the fly. So it's not really my favorite, but it's all good. Maybe I'll stick to the line art and just cell shade it because that's a lot of fun for me. I like cell shading.
That must be very satisfying.
Doing cell shading?
Yeah, it just sounds fun.
Oh yeah, it's so nice, especially in Procreate. It is beautiful. Matter of fact, here, let me try something. I'm gonna exit out for a second, and I want to try showing you something real quick. Okay, so this is an old drawing I did from a couple of years ago, but there's.
Oh yeah, I remember that piece.
Yeah, so let me see. Let me copy this so I have enough layers. No, wait, hold on. 1 second, guys. I'm trying to. Need to get rid of this. Okay, so there's a really cool trick with Procreate. Oh, so there's a really cool trick where you can create a reference layer. So you would tap on the layer, hit reference, and then you can create a new layer. And let's say I wanted to fill in all the line work that was in the face right here. It would just naturally do that. It's like a paint fill, but generally when you do that, you would have to, for those who are more experienced, you would have to select on that layer and then go to another layer and fill in the color and stuff. But with Procreate, you don't have to do that. Just naturally will fill it in as long as you make a reference layer, and it saves so much time. I color entire characters in like 5 minutes this way. It's the most
nice.
It's the most beautiful thing. If the line art was clean on this version, then I totally would have done that here to show you guys, but I don't think I have enough time to show you all.
We have a question from Gladys. Do you find yourselves continuously thinking about the piece you're working on, or do you go into Zen mode? I think I go into Zen mode. What do you do, Jordan?
I go into the Twilight Zone. No, no, seriously, I actually have been binge watching the Twilight Zone for the last couple of weeks. But yeah, when I'm not thinking actively about the design, I definitely start letting things flow, and I don't really worry about my drawing all that much.
Actually, Jordan, you know how I know I'm really into my drawing?
How?
I'm not hungry and I don't need to use the bathroom.
Well, I'm a little hungry, so I don't know.
Which does a lot, because I really like eating, and most of the day I am thinking about eating, but not when I draw.
You know what? There are times where I have skipped meals because I was drawing, and I'll be like, "Dang it! Is it like 3 o'clock already? I should probably fill myself with food."
No, you know what I've definitely done is I'll stay up way past my bedtime because I don't want to stop drawing. You ever do that?
Is that a joke? Is that a serious question?
What? Well, because I have to be so protective of my sleep or I go crazy.
So I just came out of 6.5 years of art school, so I've had my fair nights. I have definitely worked there have been times where I get up at 9 a.m. and then work literally the entire day, save for food and bathroom breaks, and work till 6 a.m. the next day, sleep for 45 minutes, and then go to school. It's terrible. I don't recommend that to anybody, but I've done it many times, and it's awful.
Yeah, Jordan, I can't do that anymore. that's not in my physiology. It doesn't exist.
Oh, I don't like doing it at all. Oh my goodness. I get really frustrated when I'm sleepy, because at a certain point your drawing is just not getting better, but the time is just passing by. And it's terrible.
I don't know. Although sometimes I have to stay up late to draw because it's the only time nobody's bothering me. You know what I mean?
I can see that. The most our situations are a little different, because the worst that happens to me is someone calls me, but I actually tend to invite that, especially now with quarantine and stuff. So
right.
Yeah.
Well, for me, there's always somebody who, I want lunch. I'm like, ah. Or my favorite is where's the Apple Pencil? I'm like, how do I know where the Apple Pencil is? How is that my deal?
That's pretty funny, actually. Especially since it's
Who's on the Apple Pencil all day? You or me?
That's hilarious.
Exactly.
So Tanley says, Soitinly. Oh, I get it. Soitinly. That's nice. It's like the tortoise and the hare. Clara is quickly catching up to Jordan. So, I mean, quite honestly, I think Clara started with the colors way before me. So part of me is I'm catching up to her. But unless you're talking about Procreate ability, then sure. I'm actually not exactly sure.
Whoa. Our portraits are really different. I just looked at yours for 2 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not really feeling it right now, but it's all good. It's
It's awesome that our portraits are so different.
For me, it's just the colors aren't fully blending or matching what I want, but it's okay. It's okay. I will live to do art another day.
See, my feeling is I'm not being very adventurous with my colors, and that kind of bothers me.
Yeah, I understand that.
AJ says, Clara ranting about her kids needs to be a show. It would be a long show, AJ. It would have multiple seasons and so many episodes, and topics would be covered. And apparently it doesn't really change. I always thought to myself, it's okay, at some point, poop is not going to be funny anymore. At some point, they're going to outgrow this concept of poop being hysterical. But has not happened yet, Jordan, and it's not that long until they, head off to college.
That's one of those topics that a lot of people will always find funny. And there's
I'm starting to realize that.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. My time was definitely around 8 or 9 when I thought farts and butts were funny. Actually, I remember one time I was with a friend of mine, and we were at Borders bookstore back when they were still around. I miss Borders. And there was a book called The Day My Butt Went Psycho. And and we both laughed so much. We're like, Mom, please. Well, it was I said, Mom, please get this book for us. And I never ended up reading the book, but just to have it in my little 10-year-old library was just the best. I thought it was the funniest thing. I could not tell you what that book was about. I never read it. So she kind of wasted her money, unfortunately. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, it was really something.
That's brilliant, Jordan. I have such a high opinion of you now.
I was 9.
Fine. Okay. If you're 9, you're excused for the ludicrousness.
If I was like,
although,
if I was like 18, it might be a little different, but I was like 9.
we have some people who have feelings about poop. Soyton Lee says, poop is always funny. I'm 60 and I still find it hilarious. Blue Wolf Spirit says, poop will always be hysterical. Awesome.
That's pretty funny.
Let's see. Emma is saying they should put beepers into the Apple pencils. I'm constantly losing mine when it's right beside. Oh my God. Somebody needs to invent that, because I cannot tell you, where's the Apple pencil? Where's the Apple? I'm like, we need to have something that lets people find it faster.
There was one time I lost my Apple pencil, and because I accidentally dropped it at Trader Joe's. And it took like 2 days to find it. I was really scared because these things cost like almost $100. So. Oh,
I know they're expensive.
Yeah.
Wait, how did you figure out it was at Trader Joe's?
I tracked my day, and I was like, okay, where do I remember last seeing it? I remember seeing it on the BART or the train in San Francisco, and I realized that was there because what I had to do is I had to put my groceries at Trader Joe's in my backpack, and it fell out at that point somehow. I'm still not exactly sure how that happened. And then I called them the next day because I was going to go to the Apple store and buy a new one. Mm-hmm. And my mom was like, no, you should just call every place you went and just see. And the first call I made was Trader Joe's, and they're like, yeah, we have it. I was like, oh, thank you. I'll be there in half an hour. And so I got it back. That was nice. Saved $100.
Oh my God, you're so lucky.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Because, yeah, these are not cheap. I would pretty much cry.
Yeah, I almost did. I was not a happy camper that day.
Okay, Jordan, let's zoom out and see. Oh, my God, guys, that does not look like me. What happened to my forehead? My forehead is huge. Oh, dude, I need to, you know what it is? I zoomed in too much, Jordan.
Yeah, that tends to happen. So yeah, maybe. I still like my actual drawing more than the painting. That's how it always is for me, though. I always like the drawing more.
Well, that's because you're so good at the line art, Jordan. That's why.
Fair enough. I still prefer it, so we're gonna leave it at this for now as our way to close everything.
Anyway, you guys, in a few minutes, Jordan and I will be hanging out in the Art Prof Discord in the Draw Alongs channel, and I hope you guys will come chat with us and post what you made. Remember, you can also tag us on Instagram with art.prof and hashtag ArtProfShare. We would love it for you guys to subscribe to the Art Prof YouTube channel and join the Art Prof family. And thank you so much to our top Patreon supporters who make everything possible. Thank you to my cheerleading squad for cheering me on while Jordan patiently walks me through all the nuances of Procreate. Everybody, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.